Now, talking about leaders in strife and getting too close to property developers, the ABC today dropped a bomb on Deb Frecklington, leader of the LNP, just weeks before the Queensland election, said that she'd been referred by her own party, supposedly, to the Queensland Electoral Commission for going to events which included property developers. Here's the ABC this morning.
There's been an explosive development in the final weeks of the Queensland election campaign. The opposition leader, Deb Frecklington, has been referred to the state's Electoral Commission by her own party because of unease about campaign fundraising activities. Sources in the Liberal National Party say there's concern about a possible breach of electoral laws because she attended events with property developers who are prohibited donors under the state's electoral laws.
Wait. What's the allegation here? That Frecklington went to events where there were also property developers. There's no law against that. And the party actually denies referring her to the Electoral Commission. But who cares? The ABC report forced Frecklington to look defensive today and let the Premier go on the offensive.
That's not correct at all. Look, that's simply not correct. I stand by my integrity. I stand by my integrity.
There is a ban of property developers. And what we are hearing, and there needs to be a full explanation about exactly who she was meeting with, why she was meeting with them, and why she was doing that when it is not allowed.
There's no law against meeting property developers. They're not criminals. I talked a short while ago to Tim Mander, Deputy Leader of the Queensland LNP. Tim Mander, thank you so much indeed for joining me. Can I just go through what the ABC sensationally claimed this morning and you tell me what the truth is? First of all, it said that Deb Frecklington had been referred to the state's Electoral Commission. Is that true?
No, that's not true, Andrew. I mean, this is a classic ABC beat-up. People aren't referred to the ECQ. I have no idea what that means, and there's no truth in that. The party has come out and made a statement saying that that's factually incorrect. So I don't know what they're talking about, to tell you the truth.
What would be the kernel of truth in that? Has the party talked to the Electoral Commission about what's happened with her? Has it asked for guidance with the Electoral Commission?
Andrew, the laws that the Labor Party brought in prohibiting property developer donations are very complex. They're not straightforward. So the party is having discussions with ECQ on a continual basis, seeking clarification, making sure that we do the right thing. That's the whole motivation for dealing with the ECQ. So I don't know what the ABC is talking about. Of course the party talks to ECQ and vice versa to make sure that the laws are being kept, which they have been from the LNP's perspective.
So that might be the kernel of truth here, that someone in the party said, this is what our leader is doing. She's going to these dinners. There are property developers there. They're not donating, but they're there. What's your guidance? Is that where the truth of this comes from?
Quite possibly, that might be where it comes from. I mean, the laws do not prohibit property developers attending events. It's quite clear.
Okay, well, let me get to that, Tim. Let me get to that, because that is the second part of the ABC's big claim. One, that that the LNP itself referred the leader to the state's Electoral Commission. You've clarified, well, suggested a possible explanation for that. And said this is not true. The second part of it was, it said LNP sources thought there was a possible breach of electoral law because she attended events with property developers who are prohibited donors. Is it, in fact, illegal, unlawful, to attend an event where a property donor is sitting in one of the chairs?
No, it's not illegal. That can be entirely appropriate. What they are prohibited from doing is making donations to a political party. So, I mean, we are dealing with people from all aspects of the business sector all the time, and some of those will include property developers. They're not lepers. They are people that contribute to society and want to meet with political leaders, to seek their views and to give their views. But what they're not allowed to do is that they're not allowed to make a donation. So in that story from the ABC, I can't see where there was one allegation that a property developer made a donation. It's a total beat-up.
Well, let us see if there is a kernel of truth here. Is it wise to go to an event that's actually hosted by a property developer and at which the attendees later, not at the event, later then donate to the party?
Well, again, there's a difference between supporters getting together and having a dinner than fundraising dinners. Now, what's happened afterwards, I can't answer that. I don't know that information.
Well, we know the information that some of them did donate later. Some of them, one of them's put up his hand. A number of them did donate after the dinner, not at the dinner, after the dinner. Does that make that dinner that is thrown by a property developer, does that make it at all questionable in your eyes?
No, it doesn't. And don't forget, the people that made the donations afterwards were not property developers. So nobody's implying that that is the case. So they're trying to build some innuendo around a practice which is totally legitimate when people who support the leader or the party and meet with them in a private dinner, that is totally and utterly legitimate. And if donations were made afterwards by individuals, well, that's their democratic right to do that as well. But they were not property developers, the people that made donations. It's all innuendo.
Well, it does sound a bit like that to me too, I must say. Tim Mander, thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Andrew.